Welcome to this new HTML5 lesson. In today's lesson, we will learn about CSS or Cascading style sheets. What is CSS? CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and CSS is the language we use to add colors, change fonts, and control the layout of our pages. Basically, CSS is used to determine how our pages are presented on the screen. So what is the difference between HTML and CSS? HTML is what makes the structure of the page. In other words, HTML allows us to add paragraphs, pictures, videos, links, tables, lists, and other pieces of structure. We use CSS to style these HTML elements and make our websites visually appealing. CSS went through the following versions or standards. We have CSS1, CSS2, and finally CSS3. And CSS3 is the latest standard. CSS3 adds lots of new features such as rounded corners, drop shadows, text effects, and other useful features. There are three types of CSS. We have the inline styles, and the inline styles are styles that are written directly in the tag, as seen in this example. Then we have the internal styles, and the internal styles are styles that are defined within the head section, as we see right here. Finally, we have the third type, which is the external CSS, and the external CSS is a file that we link to our web pages. And therefore, any changes that we make to the CSS file will affect every page that has a link to it. Let's now go to Notepad++ and work with the CSS. Here I have started a project, named it CSS lesson.html. I have a body tag with two heading tags, one h1 tag and one h2 tag, and under this heading tags I have 4 paragraphs. I'm gonna come here and do the following to start an inline styles. So to start an inline styles, all we have to do is to come here and say style equals double quote, and inside the double quote we add our styles. So the first style I'm gonna add is the color style. I'm gonna say color colon red. Alright, so here we have to learn some terminologies. The color is called property and the red is called value. So inside style attribute we have properties and values. Okay, I'm gonna press Ctrl S to save the work, come to the run, launching Chrome, and there it is. Okay, I'm gonna shrink this down. I'm gonna come here and add another property. I'm gonna say background color yellow. Alright, and I'm gonna put a semicolon. So to separate the properties we use the semicolon, and to add values to the property we use the colon. Okay, I'm gonna press Ctrl S and go back to my page, and when I refresh I should see a yellow background, and there it is. Alright, now to add another style to another element I have to go to it. For example, I want to add styles to this element. I'm going to come here and do the same thing, say style equals double quote, and I'm going to add the following styles. I'm going to say font size, okay, I'm going to say 18. I'm going to put a semicolon to add another property, so I'm going to say font weight equals bold, then put semicolon and add another property, and this is going to be font family colon Arial, and close it with a semicolon. Let me press Ctrl S, go back to my page, And now when I refresh, we should see this paragraph right here changing to the whatever styles we gave it. Okay, I'm gonna refresh, and there it is. So it's Arial 18 bold. Alright, let me shrink this down. So basically this is the inline style, and this is how we use it. But the inline style is not recommended at all for so many reasons. Reason number one, because both of the HTML and the CSS codes are mixed in the same line, and as a web developer you always want to separate the markup from the styling. That's the first reason. The second reason is the fact that the styles must be applied to every HTML element. So if you want to apply styles to this element, you have to come here and add styles to it. If you want to apply styles to this element, you have to come here and add styles to it. These make it very difficult for the web developer to maintain his page, and therefore it is not recommended to use the inline styles, and the only time you want to use it is when you are testing your page. Other than that, you should not use it. Alright, now let's move on and use the internal style. So I'm gonna come here and remove all this, and come here and remove all this. Alright, so to start an internal style, I do the following. I'm gonna come here between the head tag and open style tag and close it. Alright, now inside this style tag, this is where I add my selectors. Alright, so okay, and I add my styles right here. So here I'm gonna add the following properties. I'm gonna say color, colon, and I'm gonna add a value, and I'm gonna say green, semicolon. So it's the same concept. Basically we add properties, then we add a colon, then values, and we end them with the semicolon. I'm gonna add another property, and I'm gonna say font size, colon, 18 points. Alright, I'm gonna press Ctrl S to save, come to the run, launching Chrome, and as you can see, I have the paragraphs green and 18 points size. There is something that brings the attention here, and that is all the paragraphs are affected by the style I added to the P element. So all the paragraphs are green and 18 points, and this is one of the advantages of using internal CSS. I do not have to go to each paragraph and change it. I can change it from one spot. I can also do the following. Let me shrink this down. I can come here and say h1 comma h2 curly brackets, and here I'm gonna add the following styles. I'm gonna say color, let's say blue, and let's say font family. Alright, let's make it Arial. Okay, I'm gonna press Ctrl S, go back to my page, and when I refresh my page, both H1 and H2 tag should be affected with the styles I added. So let's refresh it, and there they are. So I have both of them blue and Arial font family. This is also one of the advantages we can use in the internal CSS. So if more than one element shares the same styles, we can write it in one line like this. As you can see, this is a good solution. This is a better solution from the inline styles, but still it is not the best way to style your page, because we are not separating the HTML code from the CSS code. So the best practice, or the best way to add styles, is by using the external CSS. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab all these, delete it, delete this. Alright, and I'm gonna say new, then come here, save as, and I'm gonna call it style, and come here and look for a style sheet extension. Right, let me, which is this one, or I can come here and just type .css, either or. Okay, the best practice also is to create a separate folder for the CSS files. So I'm gonna click here, so add a new folder, and I'm gonna call it styles. I'm gonna double click the styles folder and press save. Okay, so I'm gonna come here and add the following styles. I'm gonna say body. Alright, this is for the background of our page. I'm gonna say background color. Alright, and the best way also to add colors is by using the hexadecimal code. I'm gonna press the pound sign and I'm gonna say D9, D9, D9. That's kind of light gray color. Okay, I'm gonna come here and go to the paragraph tag and do the following for the paragraph tag. I'm gonna say font family. Okay, sorry, Arial. Let me remove this, that was a typo, and come here and say font size 16, and maybe add a color just for the example. We're gonna probably turn it to blue, so I'm gonna press the pound sign, do this, so I'm gonna 0000 FF. Okay, and next step is to come here and do the following. So I'm gonna come between the head tag and add a link to my page. So I'm gonna say link rel equals style sheet. Okay, then come here and say href equals. Now for the browser to find my CSS file, I'm gonna have to say styles, that's my folder, / then style.css, that's the name of my folder, and of course come here and close it. So basically what we're doing here, we are saying that this is a link and the relationship is a style sheet relationship, and you are going to find it in this directory, and the link tag is used in the head section. We cannot use the link tag in the body section to link to pages. Remember, if we want to link to other pages, whether external or internal pages, we need to use the anchor tag. So the anchor tag is used in the body section and the link tag is used in the head section. Okay, so let's press Ctrl S to save all these. We press all these, come to the run and launching Chrome, and there is my page. As you can see, my background is gray, my paragraphs are blue, 16 points Arial, and basically these are the different types of CSS: the inline CSS, the internal CSS, and the external CSS, and this is the way to use them. And with this we come to the end of this lesson. I thank you for watching and you have a good day.